The lasers flash for just a couple seconds.
They are still fighting fires tonight on the Hawaiian island of Maui.
If anybody's still out here, the fire is on Front Street and it is time to go.
August 8th, 2023, the world saw a huge fire that destroyed the historic village of Lahaina, which is located on the west coast of the island of Maui, Hawaii. What is in question is the spread of a video on social media about the use of lasers that caused the fire. Several countries have studied and developed a technology known as Directed Energy Weapon, or DEW. DEW focuses a lot of electromagnetic energy towards a single target in several forms, namely laser light, microwaves, and radio waves. Electromagnetic energy waves are faster than the speed of light, therefore DEW is faster than other conventional weapons. In addition, conventional weapons have reached the highest level in terms of their capabilities, causing the development of directed energy weapons as an alternative to be used during war. The US spends $1 billion annually on research involving DEW. HAARP is a very powerful radio transmitter and can disrupt the Earth's atmosphere. HAARP is often associated with terrible natural disasters. So in this video we will see if DEW technology and fires in Hawaii, as well as HAARP technology, are the cause of climate change and capable of producing destructive energy. Directed energy weapons, DEW, are weapons that use electromagnetic energy, which is focused to attack or destroy enemy assets. It is a kind of accumulated energy that will be emitted to the location of the enemy from a distance. Unlike conventional weapons that use bullets, DEW is able to block the advance of the enemy by damaging electronic equipment such as drones or destroying enemy weapons directly with high heat energy. History of DEW weapons development. Today, the concept of DEW weapons such as lasers sounds like science fiction, but the idea is not new as many research studies have been done. Legend states that Archimedes experimented using the concept of directed energy collection by arranging mirrors to focus sunlight to burn ships belonging to the Roman Empire in 212 BC. Nikola Tesla spent 30 years studying how charged particle beams travel through the air, and a research on an energy collection system called Teleforce was published in 1934. In fact, Tesla studied the construction of various formidable weapons during the latter half of his life. For the next 40 years, research and development on DEW started in various countries around the world, with a budget worth billions of dollars. In fact, Russia has also used a laser weapon called Peresvet in the war in Ukraine. It can damage satellites that are at an altitude of 1,500 kilometers. There are many successful DEW concepts, with prototype construction contracts also awarded to leading companies. When compared to a hypersonic missile that travels 10 times the speed of sound, the distance traveled by this missile is only 10 centimeters compared to the DEW laser, which has reached a target as far as 10 kilometers. This DEW can travel at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second. Furthermore, DEW weapons do not require ammunition, therefore do not require extensive manufacturing from a factory to be transported to the battlefield. The laser light is also not affected by gravity and wind and moves in a straight and precise manner on the target. It will result in destruction in the form of fire due to high heat energy. DEW can also be used in the form of microwaves to damage enemy electronic devices or electromagnetic jamming systems. Therefore, compared to other conventional weapons, DEW provides attacks as fast as the speed of light, accurate, can cover a large area, lower operating cost with no ammunition limit, easy in terms of logistics, can attack many enemies quickly, and the level of destruction can be controlled according to the energy source used. DEW can be considered as a revolution in weapons of war in the future. The US military has already started testing DEW prototypes since 2014, which are mostly used to destroy drones. For example, the Thor prototype has been tested by the US Air Force for 2 years.
Kim, the tactical high-power microwave operational responder, easier to remember by its nickname Thor, is dropping the hammer on drones.
The US Air Force has also received a high-energy laser weapon, which can be installed on the F-16 fighter jet in the form of a capsule from the Lockheed Martin Company for testing. In addition, countries such as China, Russia, India, Iran, South Korea, France, Turkey, Israel, and Germany are also competing in technical studies involving DEW. Interestingly, everything that can be done from this technology seems to happen in this fire. What's happening on Maui?
Oh, we made it. We're gonna line on the road now. Somebody's down right
Yeah,
here.
somebody's down. We cannot do nothing for her.
What, dude?
Just go.
We can see the technology of this technology is very great, and it has already been tested, whether it was told to the world or not. And what happened in Maui, with some photo and video evidence showing the impact of the use of this technology is happening here. A large fire has destroyed the historic village of Lahaina in the Maui Islands, which has a population of about 13,000 people, on August 8, 2023. Lahaina was the capital of Hawaii before it was taken over by the U.S. This tragedy is the worst fire in the U.S. in 100 years. This fire occurred during the dry season with strong winds. The fire started early in the morning at about 6.30, spread towards the west and the port, causing more than 2,700 structures to be destroyed, 86% of which were residential, with the death toll already exceeding 115 people and 1,130 people missing. What is in question for the public is that on the day of the incident, the emergency warning sirens that are tested every month did not sound, the water supply stopped, the communication system did not work, and residents who wanted to save themselves were stuck with various barriers placed in the middle of the road. It caused residents to be trapped in burning cars, and more than 100 people plunged into the Pacific Ocean. Photos taken on August 9th show Lahaina reduced to ash, and according to Hawaii Governor Josh Green, the cleanup could take a year and cost $1 billion. So far, there has been no official statement confirming the cause of this fire, and then conspiracy theories involving this incident began to play out. This theory, which is mentioned as a conspiracy, cannot actually be rejected before examining the explanations made. Videos and pictures circulating on social media about the cause of the devastating fire in Lahaina have been claimed to be due to the use of DEW technology, which is a high-energy laser beam. Residents also stated that the elite and the government had planned the fire in the location involved for their own interests. In addition, well-known companies such as BlackRock and Vanguard have tried to buy the lands belonging to the original people in Maui before. The strategic location of Lahaina, located near the coast, is worth billions of dollars, and the original inhabitants insist on defending the lands there. The authorities said that the cause of the fire was due to the change of season, which is a lack of rainfall, hot temperatures, coupled with strong winds due to Hurricane Dora. Most of the international news agencies continue to dismiss what is stated as a conspiracy theory, despite the statements from residents who witnessed what happened. In fact, the concept of conspiracy theory was popularized by the CIA to stop the public from questioning the events that took place. There are various mysteries seen from the evidence that remains, and it is very suspicious as recorded by several individuals. What is more suspicious is when real estate agents flock to Lahaina residents to buy their land after the tragedy. Residents who lost their homes and lost basic supplies also said that the help from the government that should have been available was not as expected. Also in the Hawaiian Islands, there is a large U.S. naval base, Pearl Harbor, but there is no help from the parties involved. While the tourism industry in the location near the tragedy is active as usual as if nothing happened. The economy on the island of Maui, Hawaii, is largely dependent on tourism. In addition, in January 2023, a conference was held to discuss the plan to convert the entire island of Maui into a smart city. What happened was like a coincidence, but a coincidence carefully planned by certain parties. This fire in Lahaina is considered a forest fire or wildfire, but it is clear from what is seen, it is not like a normal fire. Most of the houses that burned were middle-class residents, and the houses of the wealthy were not involved. What can be seen from the pictures and videos shows that the fire burned the houses where people live and left white ash, but the surrounding forest and trees did not burn. The pictures also show many burning cars and extreme forest fires, which can reach temperatures of 1,200 degrees Celsius. Cars were also seen burning completely until the aluminum melted. For the scientific record, aluminum melts at 600 to 700 degrees Celsius. However, car window glass requires a very high temperature, around 1,700 degrees Celsius to melt, and most cars burn with melted windows. It was rather strange that none of the cars were left in the middle of the road with their doors open, as if There are also pictures showing blue objects such as umbrellas and cars, which did not burn at all. There is a video taken showing the car burned badly even though the surrounding environment was not affected at all.
Laser weapons can be programmed for different wavelengths. Believe, huh? The whole building goes down, the whole street goes down, and then these shirts survive.
In 2018, a large fire broke out in California after more than 10,000 houses were destroyed. Also had the same characteristics as the fire in Maui this time, because the fire destroyed most of the houses, but not the surrounding forests. The fire in California was linked to Pacific Gas and Electric Company, PG&E, and Rothschild Incorporated, which wants to build high-speed rail in the area. Among the evidence that can be considered a fire caused by dew is a suspicious burning pattern, a precise target, i.e. can target a specific location or object. There is no ignition source around the burning area.
Dude, I think everyone burned over. Holy.
On September 9th, 2023, an earthquake struck Morocco with a magnitude of 7.2, killing more than 2,000 people. Earthquakes above magnitude 7 are very strong, and scientists compared the Moroccan earthquake to the explosion of 25 nuclear bombs. The earthquake in Morocco will change the theory used by scientists because it happened 400 kilometers away from the tectonic boundary line of the African and Eurasian plates. Residents also reported seeing a bright light in the sky before the earthquake occurred. U.S. military project. Imagine a country having a weapon that can destroy all enemy spy satellites at once. Of course, the country can move military assets easily without being detected. It can certainly be used for surprise attacks. This so-called weapon is capable of producing a group of high-energy electron clouds, which travel at the speed of light. The HAARP facility consists of 180 antennas to transmit signals to the ionosphere layer, which is at an altitude between 48 kilometers and 965 kilometers above sea level. The ionosphere layer has a combination of electrons and ions in the form of plasma. Life on Earth depends on the protection provided by the ionosphere, which blocks the sun's harmful radiation. The ionosphere plays an important role in transmitting radio signals because it reflects radio waves back to the Earth. Wi-Fi, smartphones, and location tracking apps rely on radio waves. Many satellites are also in this layer. When activated, it can produce high-energy radio waves into the ionosphere. The HAARP transmitter produces 960 kilowatts of radio frequency energy in the form of a beam and causes the electrons in the ionosphere to rub together and heat up. The US government states that HAARP is only for scientific research purposes, but it is the most powerful military defense facility in the world. We hear and read a lot on the internet about HAARP, which is considered a prototype of a Star Wars-style weapon system, can control the weather, a tool for the preparation of the New World Order, to take over the world by producing holographic images in the sky, and some say it is part of the Earth's defense system from aliens. According to the US military, one of the purposes of HAARP is to produce natural phenomena on a small scale. However, formal statements from the government often contradict and deliberately mislead the public, causing some scientific researchers to state that HAARP technology is indeed misused. One of the main factors is its hidden location and in a very quiet area. The parties involved stated that studies carried out in certain areas of the sky will not spread to other areas, but this is not true because there are indeed health effects from radio and electromagnetic wave radiation. Therefore, HAARP must be part of an evil conspiracy, held by certain parties for their benefit. During the 1950s, controlling the weather was impossible and science fiction. But at the end of the 1970s, it was a certainty, and it was even a subject under the supervision of international law. Environmental Modification Convention, signed in 1977, to prevent any country from using technology to manipulate the natural processes of nature, which can result in earthquakes, tsunamis, and others. The United Nations must have made the law because they knew there were parties with such dangerous technology. In fact, various strange experiments have been done since the 1960s by various parties on the ionosphere layer, such as placing certain chemicals to study their effects. Israel once proposed placing E. coli bacteria in the ionosphere to study whether the bacteria could survive. In the 1970s, cloud seeding technology was successfully implemented. In 1996, Project Popeye was carried out during the Vietnam War to extend the period of monsoon rains to break the movement of the enemy. Scientists have found that earthquakes affect the ionosphere. Therefore, they believe that if the situation is reversed, that is to make changes to the ionosphere, then earthquakes can be produced. HAARP is a facility capable of generating high-power radiation, which heats the ionosphere, causing earthquakes and hurricanes. HAARP technology can not only heat the ionosphere, but can also cause the layer to leak, and the affected areas will face ecosystem disturbances, such as damaging crops due to lack of protection from solar radiation in the atmosphere. It is like a secret strategic weapon for the purpose of destroying the enemy's economy. Current scientific evidence shows that HAARP is fully operational and can cause rain, drought, earthquakes, and hurricanes. Dr. Rosalie Bertel, a respected scientist, stated, U.S. military scientists are doing research to double the strength of storms and divert water vapor in the atmosphere so that droughts or floods occur. He also stated that HAARP would emit an odd flash of light like bright lightning when ELF waves were emitted. On May 12, 2008, a bright flash of light appeared in the sky of China, which is said to have happened in Aceh, Indonesia, before the big tsunami in 2004. Heavy floods in Pakistan are also suspicious of researchers and scientists because the total volume of rain is like a turbo-powered monsoon. A report written by U.S. military officials stated that the U.S. aerospace would be able to control the weather if it had the most advanced technology and continued research in those areas, such as in the use of electromagnetic frequencies. For example, if it can produce a hurricane with the strength of 10,000 hydrogen bombs, it can destroy the enemy immediately. HAARP research is like science out of control, or a secret weapon system that destroys life. Although some say that HAARP's purpose is purely for research, the truth is that it is still very risky and has too many side effects. The issue of global warming or climate change may just be an advantage used by certain parties to negate the facts and evidence, which is labeled as just a conspiracy, while many natural phenomena lately seem to be deliberately made. HAARP's ability to generate large amounts of energy through laser beams is awesome. Scientific research and experimentation can also have tragic implications for life on Earth, such as creating tools for mass destruction that cause prolonged suffering. Have humans reached the highest level of technology, which ultimately only brings about the end of human civilization? There is no longer anything hidden from the construction of HAARP, because we can read and understand from historical manuscripts. It clearly shows that it was developed as a result of Nikola Tesla's idea 100 years ago.